Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Catherine. Tonight we're going to do an all signs video and we're going to look at abundance in general. We're going to see through which way abundance manifests itself in your life. We're going to look at maybe how you can generate more abundance, and whatever else the cards want to point out regarding abundance for you. So we're going to do run through the order of the zodiac, of course, Aries through Pisces. So let's start with Aries. Okay, we get lightning. Foudre is lightning. So lightning fast. Probably abundance will come to you quickly. It feels maybe even very soon, or at least in a surprising manner. Maybe timing is impossible to determine, at least now at the moment, because we don't have that many cards yet. Let's keep digging. How else does abundance manifest itself for Aries, please? It says through letting go. Lâcher prise is a letting go. Maybe you're very focused on it, on money, right? Maybe you're obsessing over it, so to speak. Maybe maybe you block it without even realizing it. Let's see what you actually let go of, though. It feels either you let go quickly of something, or it's kind of tied, but yet relatively separate as two different actions, maybe to be one being yours and the other one coming from the outside, affecting you from the outside. This card, the King of Swords here. Someone influential, someone with authority, maybe over you. Could be you as well. We get the Six of Cups in reverse with the Queen of Cups. Okay, so it feels like it's between two people. It could be you and someone else here, or maybe you are aware of this outside of you. That's possible as well, right? Never discount that. You might not be involved directly. But abundance would come maybe through a family member, someone you've known for a very long time, but with whom you might have difficult memories, actually. You might have a story around money with this person. But more abundance comes from letting go maybe of these past, negative past, I want to say like patterns, or almost like, the word in French is schéma. It's like a little bit like saying schemes or a sketch, like a little bit of a sketch, right? What you draft it to be, the story that you create in your mind around money, around the money flow, right? Maybe there was issues in your family around money in the past. It could be father, mother here, right? It could be father, mother, and you as a child, you and your siblings. So that's very possible. It could have been like all the way from the past, from when you actually grew up. But let's keep digging. It feels you cut that really like abruptly with the lightning card. You like smash this. Maybe you have a very tenacious habit. Six of Pentacles, you see, you'll balance everything out, and it's beautiful because look, the Six of Pentacles like is sort of the antidote to the Six of Cups in reverse. So it's beautiful. You're not going to do like your parents. You're going to create something different for yourself. So abundance will come differently to you. I feel it'll come like in surprising ways, very quickly, and in for some reason. Let me draw here. Let's see. I'm just curious to pull one card on the lightning. I'm curious to see what exactly that means. The Two of Pentacles actually turned for this to clarify the lightning card. You're going to live through a lot of ebbs and flows, basically. It's always going to strike you when you least expect it. You're going to have both highs and lows. And I feel that you're going to be subject, unfortunately, to, I guess, more of an external flow of or influence on your flow, right? On your money flow. Meaning you'll have less control than other people, but you'll always have this particular cycle of up and down, but you'll never lack any money, if you see what I mean. Like, this is an endless loop, right? Infinity loop. So it's not like you'll ever lack. It's just that you'll always go through the ups and downs more than other people. Let's get you a crystal, or like sometimes it's a piece of a metal. Let's get you some, I guess, guidance or inspiration. You get a few. Let's see what you got. You got 4. Let me just take the first one. How about that? Let me take this one, okay? And put the other ones back. You get this beautiful turquoise. It's gorgeous. It's called Amazonite. It reads, Amazonite is a brilliant blue-green mineral named after South America's famed river. The best Amazonite comes from Colorado. When to use it? When your inner child wants a real talk with you. Ask yourself what little you really want from life. Oh no, sorry, I read that wrong. Ask yourself what little you really wants from life. Does it sound like what current you would want? If you could just let yourself want it, perfect. Now say it out loud for the whole universe to hear and go make it happen. Speak from your heart. So this is how abundance really comes through for you. Through heartfelt things that you do, where especially you connect through your inner child. So I guess anything very, very creative for you. It also says, so who needs it? Teeth grinders, anyone struggling with Mercury retrograde. So I guess it has to do with the throat as well. I'm reading here quickly. So there's something about communication for you when it comes to abundance. But mostly I feel it's a letting go of whatever might have played out in your family dynamics. I mean, it's easy said, because I think we all kind of have that in our lives to a degree. But here it's very well shown in the cards, right? This is such an incredible family unit for me, that it makes a lot of sense to say that whatever abundance you need to let go of are basically the old ways of thinking, the way you were conditioned when you were younger. But remember, it'll come in ebbs and flows, suddenly being awarded to you and suddenly retracted from you as well. So a lot of big sums coming in, and maybe sometimes huge payments to be made on the other end. But you'll never lack any. And the more you express yourself and the more you go for creative things and follow your heart, obviously, the more abundant you'll be. So let's do Taurus quickly. Well, quickly. We're not going to do Taurus quickly. We're just going to do Taurus. Okay, let's start here. So what is Taurus's overarching energy in terms of abundance? This one, peace. So for you, abundance comes with intrinsically linked to peace, being peaceful, being at peace. What a beautiful energy. Because I do believe that it's true, ultimately. You see, and it points to security. Security is security here. So abundance for you is when you feel secure or provides you security, which again seems like such an obvious thing to say, like, but it's right there. It's right there on the table. You know, it's interesting that these two words work really well together. That abundance, you know, you never lacking in any way would provide you so much peace of mind that you'd feel so secure, right? Making you very grounded in the process. It's so beautiful, Taurus. And Jupiter is going to enter Taurus, so it's really in line here. The King of Rods in the reverse, King of Wands in the reverse. So being an entrepreneur, but maybe, and then Page of Cups in the reverse, having some difficulty putting out some messages, but not so much so. You have the Emperor actually. But that could be a bigger entity outside of you as well. So I'm thinking in terms of abundance, having more than a plan, like having a bulletproof plan. For some reason, I feel that you're shaky in some aspect here. But overall, you're very well organized. I think that abundance comes to you through people. We see quite a lot of people here for you. So I think that you need to be engaged with multiple people. But you have obviously different rapports with each of them. But ultimately, you work really well within a bigger structure with guidelines. That's really, really helpful to you in terms of giving you the security and the framework, right? That's what you need. You need to feel this stability here, this security. You need this sort of, I almost want to say like a box, but it's not a box. It's not being fenced in either. It's simply being framed, well supported, well followed. Let's draw some more. Why all these people? Okay, Moon in reverse with the Four of Pentacles in reverse. You know, abundance comes to you when you really open up. When you stop, you need to actually spend a little. You need to also show what you produce, show who you are. You need to put in some emotions here. You have to let them through, basically. I think this is why, in terms of business, your entrepreneur side here is feeling a little weak. There's some emotions lacking when it comes to engaging with your audience or your customers. like almost like you need to reveal more of how you do things, maybe engage more on social media, get to know your public, get to know your crowd, your clients, your these two. I'm going to take both. You have a beautiful green one and another aquamarine. Okay, one is green calcite, the beautiful green one, and this one is Larimar. Okay, the colors are really gorgeous. Larimar is when to use it when you feel like all of the world's problems are suddenly just your problem, which would be how you feel when you're not in your power here when it comes to dealing with your customers. So it says, when you feel like the world's problems are suddenly just yours, when anger stands between you and the formation of articulate sentences, keep cool, show your role. No, slow your roll, as in don't be so impulsive. And then green calcite, when your heart is asking for something, but you aren't listening. The heart wants what it wants. The mind wants what it thinks the heart should want. Call on the energy of green calcite to nudge that push and pull in the heart's favor. Live out your heart's desire. Aries had that about listening to their heart. So, and we have the Aries card here as well. So for some reason, Aries Taurus reads are tied again. It often happens. Not too sure exactly why, but it's often the case. It's just a fluke, maybe. Although I don't believe in coincidences. You know, let me go back to something simpler here on the mineral cards. The Larimar one, it says, who needs it? The hot-tempered or any Aries. And the green calcite reads, anyone who finds themselves lost in the forest of doubt without a map. So Libras, so this is the polar opposites, Aries-Libra axis. So I was telling you, there's a lot of people that you deal with. That's the Libra axis, the 7th house, natural 7th house of the zodiac. So it's you against people, I guess. You know what I mean? It's a little bit of you dealing with other people. And sometimes it's even you dealing with all of these people. Because I think the Emperor opens up to even more people in general. So does the Moon, because it's a public card. So you really need to balance out your relationships when it comes to opening up and showing more emotions. Getting to know your customers, I find, is where you pick up more abundance, create more abundance in your life, and you gain more peace and security in the process. Let's do Gemini. Gemini, what is this energy for you when it comes to abundance? The seal of Salomon. That's beautiful. Very steady, harmonious energies here, because it's a 6-pointed star. Also, the seal is like the seal of a contract, right? Something is a vow that you can't break, a commitment throughout the ages. Let's get some more guidance already for you, Gemini. exploration. Okay, let's get the tarot to actually get a better bearing on this. Are you traveling? Or are you just inquiring about, I don't know, some particular subject of your liking? Let's see what you do. I usually wait for pop-outs, guys, so there. 9 of Swords in the reverse. Two of Rods in the reverse. 10 of Rods in the reverse. So abundance for me is when you actually like become this pioneer, or at least you open up your markets, you open up your horizon, you really milk your ideas, and you try out different things without being fearful at all. So you get out of your head. It's amazing. But for some reason, you're on the right track when it comes to like wanting to unburden yourself, to free up some time to actually go into an exploration phase, like prospection, maybe even, you know, thinking about new avenues. You have visions of what you would like to create, but at the same time, something is blocking your view. Let's look at what that could be. Judgment. You actually want to repeat something, so you'd be starting something over again and not something new. But I do believe you would have started exploring in the past. Maybe something was cut short and you get to revisit this this new thing that you had initiated in the past. There's something that's committed, so it feels like you would definitely have to go through it again, right? You need to complete it. You need to actually deliver. But when you do that, it's abundant. It's going to work out. Basically, the judgment here is saying this is a great idea because it's kind of your calling. It's part of your calling. Or it's calling you. It's calling at you. Even if you tried, I don't think you could avoid it. I mean, it feels like you would have made a pact with yourself even. It's funny. But you're gonna have to make room, get rid of a few things, make yourself lighter, symbolically speaking, to be able to initiate exploration again, right? Let's get a mineral, this beautiful image. It's jasper. So who needs it? Any air signs and the city folk. When to use it? When you want to get back into your body after a stressful work week, a long flight, or a lit meditation session. Strengthen your foundation. Okay, so before you explore, there's something that you need to take care of, obviously, before you set out. So maybe strengthening your foundation is all this hard work that you're putting in to actually clear out a few things. Because by clearing it out, you're strengthening it. That will create a really strong basis for any form of abundance in your life, correct? Let's do Cancer now. Cancer, what are we looking at for you when it comes to abundance? How does it manifest? You're on a threshold for abundance, or maybe you need to walk into a particular place. It feels like destiny a little bit, but, you know, sort of. Not fully. But it feels like a passage, maybe it's better said. Action, look at that. Yes, you really need to cross that threshold, that door, that doorway. Okay, let's see what you take action on to create more abundance. Okay, so the first card is the Five of Swords, then it's the King of Cups with the Two of Rods here. Okay, well, first, you're gonna have to like fight tooth and nail here, I guess. Maybe you're gonna have to put in pack a few punches here to get through. I'm not sure, there's something a little bit of, there's friction in the air when it comes to attaining this goal. I feel like this Two of Rods here is the same as this door and this crystal ball. We actually see it here with the rose and the flame. So this is the doorway yet again, and this is you wanting to cross the doorway. But before you cross the doorway, there's all this unpleasant, difficult, entangling, just depleting your energy. I feel very exhausting. Let me pull on this. The Page of Swords in the reverse. You would have found out some stuff, or information about you would have come out. Things that are private that you wish wouldn't have come out. Chariot in the reverse. Regarding a lack of movement, but mostly a lack of success. Or actually someone blocking your success, actually. This is what was going on. This person was blocking your success. There's been a lot of... there's fighting, and there's not just fighting. There's below the belt kind of... how do you say? When I guess below the belt blows, hits... meaning unfair and that you wouldn't have seen coming. But you know, you managed to keep your cool here. You're like a cool cat. You're balanced. You're unwavered. You've got your eye on the prize, basically. You're like, you've got your eye. Either way, it's almost like behind that door, what we couldn't see here, when you think about it, this king is about to cross this door here, and behind the door is actually this young man. So I'm saying man, but it doesn't have, it's not gender specific here at all, but it's almost like someone's waiting for you on the other side. But it's symbolic. It could be just you once you've crossed, right? Maybe looking back at where you came from. That's a possibility. I mean, imagination here can make you see this in more than one light. Imagine yourself crossing and looking back at where you came from, and looking back at the conflict where this all originated. It's almost like the conflict has pushed you out or pushed you in, you know, made you actually cross over like this. So I guess it's a really, really positive experience, although it comes from a negative, right? like leaving something very difficult where you would have been somewhat betrayed to a degree and lost the battle, literally, or the argument, or you wouldn't have had the upper hand, that's for sure. Okay, you get this amazing card, which is Jet. So who needs it? The empaths, the witchy types. But the empath, I mean, you're Cancer, right? You're all about emotions. It's like we've got your energy really, really strongly here. So we know that you're impacted greatly. This reading is really on you, like about you. And you seem to be extremely sensitive in this. You're sensitive about what actually happened to you and what triggered your move forward. Basically, it's like success out of failure. If I'm to sum it up, it says claim your space. So maybe that's what it is. Your space is actually beyond that door, beyond that threshold. Maybe that's what you discover, right? Abundance is somewhere else, and you need to cross a particular, there's a passage, at the very least. It could even be a place. You might even have to go somewhere, but for some reason there are some delays in getting there as well. There's some waiting still. Okay, let's do Leo. Leos. Let's look at the energy of abundance for you. How does it look like in your life? What form does it take? How does it come in? Oh, this is a weird one because two cards came out. It's actually the desert, I should say. Not like the sweet, not the desert and love. So you could almost say that maybe you don't have a love life at the moment. But you could also pose like so much love coming in a place where you were left barren, right? So maybe it's announcing to you that the abundance comes in for you as in the form of love in your life. But let's look at the other cards to determine how to read this, really. Okay, you get Chance. But this one, it says professional. So this is in work, and yet it's telling us it speaks of love as well. So but look, isn't it funny? I mean, it's almost like the ladybug here, and for some reason the way they drew this here, it's almost like this piece. Maybe this heart is the ladybug itself, right? Announcing luck, miracles. Okay. Wow, the Queen of Swords with the Strength card. This is a beautiful combo. This person is extremely poised, knows how to act, how and when, basically. So she'll be very held back, always knowing when the right moment is to speak. Speaking with dignity, taking her time, expressing herself clearly, concisely. Wow, beautiful. This could be a very strong like leader at work, for sure. That could be you, definitely. For Leo, this is your card, right? It could be you, definitely. Or could be you dealing with this particular person here on the side. You could be maybe falling in love at work. Maybe that's what it means. Look. You know, the heart is the Leo. The sign of Leo rules the heart on the body. So it's like there's the courage. I've already played with, you know, this is the heart as well, the ladybug. But it's you falling in love at work with this person. It's incredible. So for some reason, you're falling in love with an air sign, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. Maybe more likely Aquarius, because it would be your polar opposite here. You know, your opposite sign in the zodiac, which is usually a good mix in relationships. Oftentimes you'll see couples that sun sign, opposite sun signs. Let's see how you guys evolve the relationship, how abundant it is. How come abundance takes on the form for you as both love and work? What? Look at this! The Two of Cups with the Star card. I can't make this up. This is like you're letting go of any burdens. Like there's nothing to slow you down, nothing to hold you back anymore. This is like the perfect lucky break that you were waiting on. Everything just falls, you know, just levels and opens the passage, or it's just like red carpet energy. Opens up like for love, and the star is like this amazing like lucky break. And it's so bright in terms of the bright future of this relationship. And no wonder there was a stark difference, right? There was really nothing for you before. Like you probably had no prospects. And then suddenly when love comes in, it's so big, right? Look at the contrast on these two cards. And hence why it's the star here hovering over the Two of Cups. It's incredible. What a beautiful love story. And this is Aquarius. I told you, this is the Leo Aquarius axis. It's going to be very important. Most likely your Leo, most likely the person will be Aquarius, right? Doesn't have to be, but Aquarian placements for sure. Let's draw a mineral here, or a metal. This one. Whoops. Oh, put those back, sorry. It fell afterward. Okay, you get this beautiful thing. It's called Chrysocolla. And it reads, so who needs it? Anyone entangled in the 24/7 fear cycle. And when to use it. When you feel small and vulnerable and are looking for someone to parent you, but then you remember that you are a grown-up, but it's cool because you totally got this. Be your own mama. Okay. Doesn't fit in so strongly with this particular set of cards here, the previous cards, but basically there's a form of independence on your part. You're able to probably not fall into the patterns of, you know, being fearful in love for one, but also being codependent. So I think you let go of any of those traits. You know, about looking for someone to parent you. I guess it's the guidance on this relationship if you want. Okay, let's do Virgo now. Virgo, how does abundance show up in your life? What does it look like for you? It looks like eternity. Eternal abundance. It's amazing. Who wouldn't want that? Never lacking anything, anytime. You could also have a windfall in August on the 8th month. And here we read vision. Amazing. So for you, abundance is linked to having either a clear vision of how to get abundance, how to generate more abundance, practically speaking, but also just like being that visionary and being very original when it comes to the things that make you abundant. The Hierophant in the reverse, the 5 of Wands, the High Priestess, the 6 of Cups in the reverse, and the Queen of Rods. We have the High Priest and the High Priestess, but they're fighting. These two are not agreeing here. Okay, they're having some sort of split. And we see that the Hierophant is really not happy. Basically, the High Priestess also, it's a funny little story, but the High Priestess is obviously a soulmate to the High Priest. But when she's a regular human, when she's not in her High Priestess energy, she's basically this, I want to say, regular Queen of Wands. So it's almost like saying that this is the totality of this person's energy, basically, on the feminine side of things. So let's look at why they're fighting. You know, we're looking at you, Virgo. Maybe you'd be this Hierophant simply because this is the earthy sign, being the card of Taurus, and you're an earth sign as well. But you might be this High Priestess as well, right? But this High Priestess is, when she's very quiet and deep in her research, she's quite subdued. But the person, the everyday person that she is different. She's quite exuberant and outgoing, which is very different. So maybe there's a difficulty for the High Priest to accept this person as such, right? So I know it has nothing to do with abundance at the moment, but it's because it's describing it's describing some competition here, or some kind of friction between these two individuals. And it could be that there's another person in the mix when it comes to, you know, it could be 3 people here. So the High Priest, High Priestess, and then this Queen of Wands on the side. But let's look at how that creates abundance. It doesn't really. Let's pull some more. 10 of Wands in the reverse. Something needs to be dropped. Let go of. That's way too many. A big pile. I'm going to put it back. Excuse me. What a strange storyline that I can't get abundance to come out for you, really. I mean, it's giving me a totally different story. There we go. And look at that. I'm not going to take these. The Hangman in the reverse. Okay, your abundance is quite stalled here. I mean, it's not fully stalled, but it's quite slow. It's barely emerging. It's barely picking up, basically. And it was quite stalled in the past, if not totally stalled. What a strange reading. I'm really having a hard time with deciphering abundance here. It's almost like, okay, I think I'm starting to figure it out. It's not an obvious one. If there are two individuals that have psychic powers, well, magician also has psychic powers in the tarot, but the high priest and high priestess would be the two very attuned individuals to the divine, right? And they would have most likely powers of vision, in the sense of inner vision, intuition, intuitive vision. And this is where the abundance lies, but there's some sort of conflict, there's some sort of battle and competition going on, because there seems to be another person on the side here. It's a possibility, but it's also what I was describing about how this high priestess is when she's not a high priestess. Or maybe she's not a full high priestess. Maybe she's still learning how to become a high priestess. Maybe that's why she's not fully enlightened. So in this case, I'm sorry to say, Virgo, but the abundance is not yet there. But what we see is that there's a funny mix between, it's not a mix, it's almost like abundance comes from some sort of friction where the heat that's being created actually becomes a form of abundance. But for the three people that are here, or if it's not the three, then at least the two, there's some form of having to pay, right? It's like there's a cost to this abundance that comes through friction because it's unpleasant. It has to be difficult in order to be generative of something abundant. Even if usually the universe makes sure that abundance is supposed to just come in easily and flow in, for some reason here there needs to be this particular spark, or do you see what I mean? Oh, I didn't pull one of these, my bad. Let me pull you you get the moonstone. For who needs it? All you earth goddesses out there. And the people you keep around who need to work on their empathy, patience, and intuition, because you're the high priestess, or at least learning to become one. When to use it? Under a new moon. Use it to set intentions that align with your purest, life-affirming calling. And find your natural rhythm. Yeah, I hope I'm clear on the message that I was giving you, Virgo. Let's do Libra now. How does abundance show up in your life, Libra? What form does it take? Ooh, it comes in the form of an adversary. Look at that. That is odd. But it's a little bit like Virgo just now, like I was explaining to them. Something of the sort, right? Abundance coming from a difficult or more difficult situation. Not necessarily coming from ease or easily. Freedom is, liberté is freedom. Okay, so you have an adversary from whom you want to be free of. That's funny. The Eight of Swords in the reverse. And the Sun card, well, I believe, and look at the sun is coming out here on the freedom. That's beautiful. You know what I'm thinking? It's like, you know, the circle here of the swords is like the circle here on the tail. And like the sun card here is the sun here peeking up on top of the chameleon. Basically announcing freedom for you. Freedom from being in your head all the time, being caught up. Maybe you always think about being thwarted. Whether that's true or not, maybe that's your perception only, but either way, it looks like you would have a real adversary. Strength in the reverse, so a lot of emphasis on the summertime, Leo season for sure. You could be dealing with a Leo or someone with strong fire placements. What else for you, Libra? This Knight of Swords. This is the individual. This is the adversary. Yeah, they make you weak. There's a lot of red. You see all the reds here. They use all of this red speaks a little bit of this person here. Although the Sun card is more like this freedom. You'll free yourself from this individual that is quite... I don't know the word in English. In French we say belliqueux. That actually enjoys fighting, basically. That's what it means. Let's see how you gain your freedom. What do you do to gain your freedom from this person, basically? I think you either dash out, dart out, simply walk out. But let's see what the cards want to say. Okay, 4 cards for this. Temperance, Knight of Pentacles in the reverse, the 9 of Cups in the reverse, and the Moon in the reverse. Well, you keep your cool. That's exactly what I was saying right at the beginning. You know, you're less in your head. You've managed to like balance yourself out. So when there's anything, you stay positive. You keep smiling. You know, you might even come through as sometimes a little arrogant and mostly naive here. But you still do that. And in terms of freeing yourself, I guess you stall things. I think it's a weird one, but I think it's interesting. Look, the 2 knights are so different. First of all, this is the fastest one, right? The Knight of Swords. And the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest, but he's in reverse, so he's at his slowest. You know, so this is like the... Already they're opposites, but now they're even more opposites because this one is at its slowest. So it's almost like abundance comes when you either slow down this person, or you're not on the same speed, you're not on the same wavelength for sure, obviously, if you don't get along, but there's something about your reality being very tranquil, very serene, so a lot slower, a lot more subtle, like everything is with the moon energy, like very soft. Whereas this person is very cut and dry, They could even be sloppy because they would turn corners too quickly, or just cut corners in general to go faster. But that's how you gain your freedom. You need to never align in terms of speed so that you don't get onto the same, I want to say, track. It's a little strange, but that's what I'm getting. Oh, let me just get, sorry. Let me pull you a crystal. It's the only way you get abundance is by, you need to derail, or at least make sure you don't align with your adversary in terms of timelines. This is the stone. You get sungit, or I'm not sure how to pronounce it, shungite. It's a coal-like mineral. Who needs it? Anybody looking to get honest with themselves. It also reads, get real with your truth. And when to use it, when it's time to reclaim your energy from wherever it's been and whomever it's been with. That's what I mean. That's exactly what I mean about not being on the same timeline and not being on the same track. You reclaim your energy, okay, from whoever's you've been with. So by not being on the same timeline, you'll protect your energy and create more abundance this way for yourself. Or at least in this case, not get depleted. Let's look at Scorpio now. What's abundance for you? We'll take this one. Ah, energy. That's beautiful. Wow, that's pure energy. You can manipulate abundance like a real magician here. That's incredible. Maybe you do Reiki. This is prise de conscience, means awareness, mindfulness, sort of a aha moment, epiphany, all of download, all of these words apply. So it's almost like saying you become aware of energy. Maybe you've become a lot more sensitive to energy work in general. You get the Ace of Cups with the Lovers in reverse. How strange. In terms of love, so this is a love reading for, well, love reading. We're looking at abundance, which takes on the form of love, mostly for you. The Eight of Cups, that's why the Lovers is in reverse. You're going to have to walk away from, I guess I want to say, a barely budding relationship. Unfortunately, it's going to sort of die in the egg. It's going to not really blossom as much as you would want it to. It's going to end pretty quickly. And I guess this is the awareness of it for you, Scorpio. It's a little drastic, I have to say, in terms of message, but it's very clear. The Five of Pentacles in the reverse with the Magician. You see, the Magician in reverse is the manipulating the energy. In this case, you know, you're maybe trying to not feel at a loss here. Even if you're walking away, I guess you're trying to feel as if you're not leaving something behind, or at least a piece of you behind. Maybe you were hoping the person would come around to you, or that they still do in the future. It's a little unclear here. The Magician is in reverse, so it's almost like saying ultimately it's not really what you want. Maybe on an emotional level, because there is a form of sadness linked to the Eight of Cups. Maybe you would still want this to happen. this being, for this not really to end. Actually, before I go to the mineral, let me pull one more tarot card. I want to look at the Eight of Cups. What comes after you walk away? Ten of Cups in reverse. Okay, so you are very sad. You are going to feel this greatly, actually. It's almost like saying you were in the know that this wasn't going to be happy, right? You kind of knew you weren't going to be happy in this relationship, but you still were hoping for something else, at least for more warmth, that's for sure. Let's get a crystal, stone, metal. You get 2. You get a blue one and an orange one. The orange is garnet. It says, who needs it? Writers who aren't writing, painters who aren't painting, sexual beings who aren't sexing. And when to use it. When you feel like the real you is getting lost in the sometimes shallow, often materialistic priorities of a driven culture. Get into your depth. Okay, so that's interesting because you have the Lovers in reverse. So we're really looking at a relationship that didn't work, you know, in terms of being dynamic and even just plainly sexual, you know, with chemistry, I want to say. And the calcite, the blue calcite here reads, people who stare up at the ceiling worrying about the future, act on your dreams. It reminds you to put stress in its place, far away from the joy of the process and the delight of dreaming big. So this is the part of the awareness of the energy. I think you realize that when the energy is not shared, it's time to walk away, as hurtful as it is, right? I think that your dreams are more important in the end. Okay, let's do Sagittarius now. Sag. Let's look at what abundance is like for you. Love came out. Wow, that's like so direct. But let's keep pulling. I've had some surprises where a reading starts like love is on the table and ends up being a separation, right? So, professional luck. It's funny, you have to watch the, was it the Libra reading? The Libra reading, because they had both the same 2 cards here. And I was saying that this looks like the ladybug. Look, this cross, it's funny. And so it's both, because it's professional chance here, professional luck. It's almost like saying you'll have the best of both worlds, both in love and in work. That's how abundance manifests. I mean, Queen of Swords. That could be you. That could be someone else for you. Maybe you're a great communicator, super like amazing project manager. 3 of Wands in the reverse. With the 3 of Swords, what is this? I just told you. I just said that maybe sometimes love comes on and at first it looks like it's going to be a happy story, but then it turns out to be like a separation, and it's exactly what we're seeing here. And there's another 3 in the mix, so There could have been a third-party situation. Someone's not happy, and this person will probably either cut themselves out of the equation, Sagittarius, or you're the one that's cutting someone out. You know, ending the third-party situation for sure. But there's great hurt, sadness attached. You know, in an instant here, like the future just crumbles. Both the vision of, I mean, it was both going to be love and work. And look at this nightmarish regrets here. The lovers are in reverse. Goodness gracious, this is a disaster. I'm going to stop pulling. This is really a difficult ending. So abundance comes to you, before I do this, abundance comes to you through the form of a difficult separation, a very deep heartbreak, a deep loss. Something that could have been exquisite really crumbles. How you cope, not so well. I mean, you're trying to, here with the Five of Wands in the reverse, with death in reverse. You're trying to put in an apology. You're trying to make your way back, but you're basically holding on for nothing. You or this other person, it's hard to tell really. But the abundance really comes when it ends. I don't think it comes through trying to revisit. When someone gets stuck in the process, it's a little sad here, but I'm not seeing abundance really. Because in this case, Sag, no matter if you're the person that has left or cut out the third party, or whoever whoever you are in that equation, right? Everyone's affected. All the three people here that are involved. It's difficult for everybody. Mind you, if two people stay together, they get to experience love. That's most likely a possibility. Maybe that's why we see death in reverse. So something actually sticks for part of the 2 out of 3 people, basically. Let's get a crystal. You get 2, 3. Maybe that's too much. Let's just take... Let's take this one. Just for the I guess I chose from the image. And it actually reads Labradorite. So who needs it? Adventurers exploring far off lands, places, alchemical, spiritual, artistic, and dreamy. Any Pisces. Protect your magic. And when to use it when you've lost your faith in magic. That's interesting. You see, this card would actually go well for the person who actually is being cut out of the equation. The one person that's being left out. They're the ones that would need to, well, first of all, maybe go far off. But they're the Pisceans, the ones that are the most sensitive here. The ones that are being affected the most. Because it speaks of a loss of faith in magic. So, I mean, anyone who would have experienced heartbreak would have some kind of temporary, momentary loss of faith, I guess. Let me grab the 2 other ones, because there's 3 people here, right? I had put those two on top of the pile, so let me get them. So Shungite, which Shungite, whatever it's called here is pronounced. Get real with your truth, and green calcite. Live out your heart's desire. You see, this would be the other couple standing in their truth and having their heart's desire of staying together. The two that are on the, you know, two of them are happy, but someone else is left out and sad. And needs to keep the faith and needs to keep believing that things will turn out for them as well one day. You know, in a different way, at a different time. Okay. Let us do Capricorn now. Let's look at Capricorn's abundance. What does it look like for them? Ooh, isolation. Okay, why is that? Does isolation actually bring in abundance, or are you being isolated from abundance? What is happening really? Spirit, please show us. Where's that card? Adaptation. Okay, so in your case, it's going to be a little bit difficult here, Capricorn. You're going to have to adapt, maybe by isolating yourself. Or again, we still don't know if you need to come out of isolation. But it speaks of adaptation, so you'll have to make quite an effort, I believe, either way. That's a big pile, but I'm going to take, so the Six of Cups, but I'm going to take the Empress that's on top. I'm going to put the rest back. Okay, abundance is lacking here a little bit. The Empress is in reverse, right? And then we get the Nine of Wands in the reverse, the Ten of Cups, and the Six of Pentacles in the reverse. There's a lack of give and take. There's someone that's not in good faith, of good faith, meaning they twist how do you say? Not necessarily that they twist things to fit what the reality, right? Or what they wish to tell you that reality is. But the kind of person that kind of lies, but little white lies. I don't know if I'm clear here. That's what I'm sensing. But someone who doesn't always tell you everything. So like lying by omission a little bit. But I really want to emphasize that it doesn't feel like a lie really as well. It just feels like you're in the dark sometimes. And not because you're just isolated. Someone's keeping you in the dark. Like you're not getting the full-on picture of what this growth and abundance could be. Someone is almost withholding it to a degree. Because they're withholding money. But for some reason, the motivation is really kind of difficult to grasp here. I mean, look, it's a mix of being happy and you know, healing oneself almost psychologically when it comes to their dreams. That resonates actually, Capricorn, the fact that someone is actually healing. We don't have the Star card here per se, right? But This Nine of Rods is he's gone through quite a few battles. It's not his first rodeo, so he's actually a lot better equipped to face any difficulties. And he's healed his scars, basically. I think he knows to adapt his dreams according to, like, you're going to make do with, or you're going to make actually the best out of a situation where you don't have as many resources as planned, or, you know, abundance comes to you through being thrifty, basically. But you have to hustle. Adaptation is almost hustling here. Oh yeah, you're gonna have to hustle. Look at that. I pulled both Death and the Tower. You're gonna go through a big change. Huge change. You're gonna have to hustle to death here. Sorry, no pun intended. Let me pull. Four of Rods in the reverse. You're gonna have a change of residence for sure. It'll be very unstable for a while. Everything's gonna collapse, but I feel there'll be some growth eventually after the transformation, but we don't see it just yet here, except for that dream that you harbor within you of being able to construct a happy home and a happy family. But you're really gonna have to adapt. You're gonna have to hustle. Wow. Excuse me. Let me get a crystal for you. You get the quartz for who needs it. Or yeah, it says quartz intensifies the power of all the stones in your crystal collection. So usually for Geminis, but we're reading for Capricorn. So anyways, enhance your vision. I just told you about vision, about your dream. This is exactly what I mean. You have to hold that vision, because as you go through this change here, it says when you find yourself, when to use it, sorry. When you find yourself believing the limitations your mind puts in front of you. Okay, call on Quartz to help you see through the illusions. Surrender to the will of the universe and start manifesting the impossible. And you know, surrender to the will of the universe, you're gonna have to, you have no choice here, really. Okay, wow, that was pretty intense, Capricorn. Let's look at Aquarius. Okay, Aqua. Let's look at abundance in your life. What shape does it take? What does it look like for you? It says mensonge. It means lies. Let's keep pulling because it's difficult to pinpoint exactly. Why would abundance come through lies? Or why are there lies around abundance? Adaptation. I just pulled this for Capricorn, so same thing. Because of lies, you're gonna have to adapt, Aquarius. It's like taking a sharp turn, or making sure you stay agile, right? taking pop outs, guys. Sorry, you have to be patient. Aqua. The Page of Cups in the reverse. How does abundance manifest? How come lies are on the table here when it comes to abundance for Aquarius? Two of Wands in the reverse. The Knight of Rods. Okay, it's funny. I had another reading. I'm not sure which sign now. I think it was Leo. No, it wasn't Leo. I think it was Virgo. There was like all these people as well for them. I know this is the Two of Rods. It's not a court card, but I mean, quickly like this at a glance, right? There's a character on the drawing, on the graphics. You'll have to be really quick. I think adaptation comes in by coming and going. It's like running, touching base, making sure you exit, you leave quickly. I don't know why. It feels like a touch and go energy. I mean, it's a funny one. It's almost like... you can't stay too long in one place. And not that you can't because you don't want to. It's because you choose not to. It's done on purpose from you, by you. It's like a lack of trust. You see, the moon just came out. Because you're in the dark. You're in the dark because people are lying to you. So your actions are erratic. That's what I'm sensing. The come and go is, in fact, being erratic. It comes from not knowing where you stand. You can't see well in front of you. These are the lies as well, right? You're being seduced into something. Twice. You're being seduced twice, you know. Let's see how they're... how is that abundant, really? I mean, this is what we're asking, truly. The Knight of Pentacles. You gain in patience. It's interesting. You become more patient, more resilient in the process. This is your own secret powers. This is how you gain abundance. This situation is making you actually progress in terms of your intuition. It's making your intuition grow. Or it hones it, right? Because you're totally in the dark here. So it makes you really feel out when people are lying to you. You know exactly what is happening. And you're becoming just a lot more sturdy. Actually more dependable as well. It's a beautiful energy. Dependability here. Let's pull you a crystal, Aquarius. It's beautiful because you're sturdy, but you're also really flexible. So it's a good mix of being unwavering and very steady and dependable, like I was saying. Reliable, and yet being very flexible about how you're gonna work around not seeing your way through. Let's get a crystal. Aquarius, your cards don't want to pop out. For the other signs, I didn't have as much trouble. And yours just don't want to come out. Okay, this is the It reads selenite. So who needs it? Healers, believers, they're currently cleansing. When to use it? When you move into a new space and want any lingering bad juju to vamoose, to be removed. Clear your path to enlightenment. Clear your path to enlightenment. This is the path, basically. This guy is walking very slowly along this long, long path, and you can't see. And clear your path to enlightenment. You need to shed some more light on this. It's beautiful. That's how you become abundance. You just need to keep plowing. Just make sure you follow your intuition, and you can actually walk with your eyes closed. It's beautiful. You'll just be stronger for it. Pisces now. Finally, we get to Pisces. So what does abundance look like in Pisces' life? What form does it take? The seal, that's beautiful. The seal of Salomon. So that's a contract, that's a done deal, that's a soul contract. That could be, it's definitely a commitment as well. Some form of very firm and important, significant commitment. Okay. We get bienveillance. Bienveillance in English is kindness. If you not, yes, kindness. Yes, it's a form of kindness. It's overlooking with a lot of goodness, right? It's kindness, goodness. That's beautiful. So abundance comes when you take care of others, when you overlook their life. The Two of Cups. No way. That's in love. Wow, that's amazing. So you have this particular ability to obviously take good care of the people that you love. There is some form of imbalance when you do that because you give too much, Pisces, and that is a known, very well-known trait for you. But we see it right here in the tarot, so I'm not even just going by the astrology at this point. What else? How does that make you abundant? Nine of Pentacles. Well, being coupled is what makes you abundant, right? This is what you need in life. You're going to be sharing your resources. You're just more, you know, it's better together, that kind of energy. Let's draw some more and see how else, or how you cope actually, or how you deal with this imbalance of giving too much of yourself, or maybe over caring and neglecting yourself, or partially neglecting yourself maybe. Nine of Swords. It's going to stress you out. The imbalance. You're going to feel left out, and you might develop resentment. Watch out for that. Nine of Rods. Okay, very important here. There are 3 nines on the table. Okay, so that's extremely meaningful at this point. There could be some kind of ending. But it doesn't have to be within the context of this particular relationship. I just feel that there's a great accent placed on spirituality, that's for sure. But for some reason, what comes out here is a lot of insecurities. You see, let me show you. This is the secure part, like the part where both partners, they know what they want to be together. There's no ambiguity about being single versus being coupled. But yet, one is giving too much to the other, which is definitely you, Pisces. But what's that creates for you is this Nine of Swords and this Nine of Rods. You might develop resentment towards your partner in time, right? With time. About being left out. Yeah, you're gonna have a really hard time with loneliness, actually. It's very, very clear here. You might sometimes feel like you're purposely left out. The motive of that, it's quite, it's not showing really, but you'll take it as personal, right? You'll take it personally. You almost feel like, well, is it me? Am I not good enough? Like, don't they want to be with me? And then you're gonna get really, you're gonna get all cranked up about it, like really upset. You know, almost negating your own self-worth here. It all has to do with because you're overgiving. So I've pulled here two cards, these two beautiful minerals, crystals. One is the bloodstone, and this one is Cavansite. So bloodstone is for who needs it? The constantly overworked and completely drained by the soul-sucking modern life, whatever, Capricorns. You see, I just said someone is working too much or giving too much, right? You're going to feel neglected. They're constantly overworked and completely drained. Power up your vitals. When to use it when you're totally bled dry. You see, take nourishment. Yeah. And then Cavansite. Who needs it? Storytellers, soothsayers, healers, therapists, psychics. I just told you you'd be the caring one, right? You're going to really expand your consciousness. So I think consciousness is on the Temperance card. It's experienced as you becoming aware of how you do this. You're going to catch yourself maybe outpouring a little too much and having it not so well balanced. But you're bound to this, you're absolutely bound by this contract, right? By this soulmate energy. So it's just a matter of maybe becoming aware of what the contract could have been, right? Before you even came here, and really trying to fulfill it in a very metaphysical way, right? Anyways, I'll leave you on that. I hope that was clear. It's almost like, let me just say that it's, no matter what your beliefs are, it's almost like telling you, yes, you have a soul contract with this person, but if you can bring it to bring more awareness to it, then you might be able to fulfill it to the fullest. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyways, guys, I hope you've enjoyed the whole Aries through Pisces. If you've used the timestamps and you want to and you've only watched your portion, please like the video anyway. Show me you've been here, that you've listened. It'd be really nice for me to know you've been here on my channel. So I'll see you soon. Take good care. Until next time.